Greetings, fellow members of the Esoteric Order of Gamers. Welcome to Joy of Unboxing. Today it's Horrified. It is by Prospero Hall, released by Ravensburger, and I was so impressed by the lovely Prospero Hall games that Funko Games sent me recently. They were Pan Am, Back to the Future, Back in Time, and Godzilla Tokyo Clash. And they're all great games and beautifully designed. And this is from the same studio, Prospero Hall, this time released by Ravensburger. So I actually went out and bought this one because their games are so good. And this one, I've had a quick look inside already. Whoops, sorry about that. Couldn't resist. And it looks just as good. Now, I received this with no shrink wrap. For some reason, the Prospero Hall games don't seem to come in shrink wrap. They're probably trying to save on the environment there, which is good and laudable, but I am a little bit worried about the risk of damage and scuffing to the boxes. However, I've been lucky and I haven't had any of that yet. It just had those sort of clear stickers closing it up. So this is a cooperative game. It's all about the classic Universal Studios monsters. A city screams in terror. It's cooperative against the world's most famous monsters. Let's check it out inside. Horrified. And here's the rulebook. Of course, I don't even have to tell you I'll be making a rules summary and reference for this game, as I do with every game in my collection. You'll be able to find it along with all the other hundreds of rules summaries at orderofgamers.com, my website. There are the rules, very nice, and as always, impeccable design, really good typography. This studio really knows how to design things. Now, I made a mistake there. I actually put this on the top, but when I first opened this game, this is the first thing I saw. The rulebook was under there, so I ruined the whole effect. But this is what happens when you open it up. You get this fantastic little bit of atmosphere here, which gives you a warning because it's all pretty terrifying. And this takes you back to the old black and white horror films, and probably more so the William Castle directed films, which had all kinds of warnings, warning people who are of a sensitive disposition to be careful in their scary films like House on Haunted Hill. I don't think Universal did it quite as much, but still, it's a lovely piece of atmosphere. You're about to unfold one of the strangest tales ever told. It will thrill you, it may shock you. That's very much William Castle language. And this is on the back of the board, which is a lovely touch. And again, just that very nice little bit of design touch that Prospero Hall are known for. This is the board, and as you can see, it's quite lovely, and it has all these locations on it. Beautiful colours. Very nice indeed. And of course the rulebook, which I've already gone through, that was second in the pile. Then we've got some counters, a few sheets of cardboard. So let's open this up. Saving on shrink wrap outside, but still using it inside. I don't know what the thinking is behind that, but there you go. So, some very nice counters. Love the shape of them. And they've got some great illustrations on them too. And look at that lovely typography. Beautiful contrast between the very thick typeface and the thin typeface. They come in various colours. Spear gun, it might be handy against the creature from the Black Lagoon. Flower. Wolfsbane. Crucifix, all the classic stuff. And don't these counters look very nice indeed. Then we've got our characters. Explorer. Scientist, Mayor, Inspector, Professor, Archaeologist, and I have to point out some really lovely variation in gender roles and types there, and also how great to see an archaeologist that isn't the classic sort of colonial English archaeologist, but you've actually got someone presumably from Africa or from Egypt who's actually an archaeologist. I think that's a great touch, and little things like that just make games more interesting because we're sick of the same old cliches. Let's do more interesting things. Let's see more representation in games, more variety. It all makes for better stories and more fun, and getting away from the cliches and the stereotypes, which, hey, it's 2021, let's leave them behind. So, with that, we have all those lovely counters. They look great. More stuff in here. I've got to say, when I open a Prospero Hall game, you really feel like you get your money's worth. It's all great quality. Lovely black bag there. We've got some miniatures. There's the Bride of Frankenstein. Well, actually, strictly speaking, the Bride of Frankenstein's monster, really, isn't it? Because we all know Frankenstein was the scientist, not the monster. This looks like the Wolfman. These are kind of stylized, fun kind of things. They're not supposed to be classic miniatures, are they? They're just kind of toy-type miniatures. There's the Creature from the Black Lagoon. Such a good film. If you haven't seen that one, it's a beauty. The cinematography is fantastic. There's Frankenstein's monster. He looks like he's trying to push someone away rather than grab them. Dracula, of course. Ah, the children of the night. What music they make. Here we have the mummy hanging over at a very precarious angle. He'll need a little bit of dipping in hot water to straighten him up a bit. And finally, The Invisible Man. Another fantastic film. The original. Just a beauty. Right, so there they all are in bright colours. And I believe here we've got the monster sheets. Very nice illustration style. And they all appear to have their own special rules. Frankenstein and the Bride come together. Creature from the Black Lagoon. Looks like they all do different things. And the Wolfman. Oh, and of course the Invisible Man. And they have setup rules on the back. Some nice custom dice. Some stands, no doubt for the investigators. And then a deck of cards. So there are 5 reference cards. The hero and monster phases. 20 perk cards. Again, look at that design. So stylish. It's beautiful. And I love that monochromatic style of illustration. It's sort of cartoony, but very stylish. Love the work this studio does. And finally, these are monster cards. Just beautiful. Notice the colour of the monsters just popping out there. And then the monochromatic ones as well. Such a beautiful looking game. They're beautifully made. Well, that's what you get in a box of Horrified by Prospero Hall Studio, released by Ravensburger. And it looks beautiful. I'm not a huge fan of co-op games. I don't tend to enjoy them as much because I do like the competitive element, but I did really enjoy Back to the Future Back in Time by Prospero Hall, and I'm expecting this one to be just as good. In fact, it's got great reviews and has been very popular, and they just keep churning out great stuff. They look beautiful and they play really well as well. That's Horrified. The stakes have been raised. Hope you've enjoyed this quick unboxing. Don't forget to check out the website at orderofgamers.com. There's a Patreon page, there's a Twitter page, there's a Facebook page. You can find out all the stuff that I'm doing on any of those pages and keep in touch with the Esoteric Order of Gamers. I will see you next time. In the meantime, if you can get some games in, enjoy them. See you next time.